welcome to my live stream podcast where we will be ranking the zodiac signs in terms of most to least psychic. Now, I might have done this video before on my YouTube channel, but I figured I would do maybe an in-depth video about it for my podcast, but then I figured I'd go a step further and just live stream the podcast episode on Twitch. So there's a video portion of it as well. So I'll probably upload this to YouTube later. But I am Lamarr Townsend. I am a psychic and energy channeler, a tarot reader, and an astrologer. Welcome to my podcast. Welcome to my live stream. Welcome to my video if you're new to my channel or my podcast. You can find my podcast on Spotify as well as Anchor and a few other places. Soon you will be able to find it on Apple Music, I believe, or Apple. But you can definitely find it on Spotify. And yeah, I try to upload regularly. I do post a lot of monthly horoscope readings. So if you like to keep up with those, definitely subscribe to my podcast. Also, if you want a personal reading, check out my website, lamarrtownsendtarot.com. If you would like to keep in touch with me, you can also follow me on my Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Vimeo. Lamarr Townsend Tarot is my handle on all those platforms. So, ranking the zodiac signs in terms of the most psychic to the least psychic. So, in terms of psychic abilities, I am a believer that everyone has some sort of psychic ability. I believe that psychic ability is a combination of being emotionally in tune with oneself, but also being in tune with spirit, and the combination of the two, which is often why, in my opinion, psychic abilities and intuition is often kind of lumped in together with emotions and things of that nature. It's often why you'll hear people say, I have a feeling that, or I feel that, that's often because sometimes intuition can come as a feeling, but you do have to be able to decipher between the two. Is it a feeling that I'm feeling, or is this my intuition? Sometimes people can get mixed up between the two, so, we'll be taking all of this into account, of course, as we rank the zodiac signs. Now, I would like to tout myself as a professional ranker. I have been ranking zodiac signs on my YouTube channel for how many years have I been doing this, you guys, on YouTube? I've been ranking zodiac signs on my YouTube for maybe 2016, 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 5 years. So I would think I'm pretty good at this. I've also written a few blog posts, of course, on my own website, lamarrtownsendtarot.com, ranking with signs and stuff like that. So I'd like to think I'm pretty good at this. Now, this is live. This is a live podcast, so this will be uploaded to my Anchor, my Spotify later, but it won't be edited down or anything like that. So, this is literally ranking as I go, based on my own expertise, based on everything I know about all the zodiac signs, and based on what I know about psychic intuitiveness and psychic abilities and stuff like that. So this is going to be an interesting little podcast episode, I suppose. Once again, if you want to listen to my podcast, the link on my Twitch will be in my Twitch profile. The link will also be in the description box below and the comment section below on YouTube, okay? So definitely support my podcast. It's definitely something that I want to, keep going with in the future. So, all right, ranking the zodiac signs. So when we're talking about psychic abilities, we have to remember that psychic abilities is both being in touch with your emotions and also being in touch with spirituality. In order to be psychic or intuitive, you don't necessarily have to be super in touch with your emotions or super in touch with spirituality, but to a degree that you're open to hearing, you're open to seeing, you're open to feeling, you're open to acknowledging and things of that nature, which is, would make you one of the most psychic zodiac signs. So when we talk about this, we have to think of the elements in which we are actually talking about, the elements of the zodiac signs, right? So there's water, which water you're going to find is probably going to be one of the, or is going to be the most probably psychic element, because water is emotion, but often you'll find, especially with, certain water signs, which we'll get into, you'll find that a lot of, water signs, or certain water signs, are also equally as in tune with spirituality, and the other side, right? So, it's being in touch with your emotions, and also it's about not like being balanced, like emotionally balanced in a way where you don't let your emotions override your intuition. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's different acting on emotion versus acting on your intuition, and often you see it in the outcome, that in terms of your action that you take, so if you take an action based off your emotion, you may or may not get a good outcome. Most likely you probably won't get the outcome you want. Now if you take an action based off your intuition, that most likely will get you the outcome you want. Now, it may not give you the outcome you want directly. It may give you the outcome you want in a roundabout way, But in the end, following your intuition, 9 times out of 10 times out of 10, is going to prove you much, much better than if you kind of follow. Oh, I thought there was someone in the room. Than if you follow your emotions. All right, than if you act off your emotions. So, because intuition is fact, right? It's spiritual fact, which means it's an unproven fact. All right. Emotions are temporary. Emotions are not necessarily fact, right? You can feel a certain way, but you may feel one way, but the other person may not feel that way, may not understand your emotions, right? So it's like, your emotions are fleeting. Your emotions are typically, trying to figure out a way to describe like the difference between intuition and emotion. One thing I'll say is, because emotions are fleeting, all right, one big sign of, is it intuition or is it emotion, is if it's an emotion, it's most likely fleeting. So an emotion is the type of thing where you may feel something one day, all day, go to bed, wake up the next day, and not feel the same way. Whereas intuition, you'll go to bed feeling a certain way, but you'll wake up feeling the same way. You know, or a week later you'll still feel the same way. You think you've forgotten about it, but you still have that feeling. That might be intuition. If it keeps coming back, if it keeps returning, if the feeling or if the thought or if the whatever you hear or the dream, whatever it is for you, whatever your psychic gift is, because sometimes, it'll come to you in different ways. Not everyone has the same gift. But if it keeps coming back, that might be intuition. That might be psychic abilities that you might need to tap into and kind of further explore, rather than an emotion that, today I'm angry at this person, because they did this and that, but maybe tomorrow they apologize and now I feel a different way, or, maybe tomorrow they get in a car accident and I feel a different way, right? Like, emotions are fleeting, but intuition is different. Intuition is long lasting. Intuition is persistent. Like, you feel a need to do something. You feel pulled to do something. You feel pulled to say something. That's intuition. All right. So, like I was saying, often you'll find that the most psychic kind of are the water signs. Another one of the, I guess, psychic kind of elements, remind you all the elements are psychic, would be fire. Actually, fire can be quite psychic as well, because fire is similar to water in that They're emotional, all right? They can be very emotionally reactive. It's about balance, though, especially for fire. But fire is especially one of the fire signs, specifically, actually, two. Fire can also be receptive to the spiritual, all right? Inherently, all right? Another one, of course, is air. You know, air can receive messages from above, messages from the divine. Air is about communication, intellect, and the mind. So that's often how, you will hear, air signs receive their messages, not all the time. But another element that, that can be quite psychic and intuitive as well. Lastly, we have earth, which is Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. And earth signs are very practical. Earth signs are methodical. They're an interesting mix between thinkers and doers. But the thing you'll find with earth signs is that they'll think before they do, most of the time, right? So, when it comes to the earth signs, you'll find that, like, how can I explain the earth signs when it comes to this topic? The earth signs, like, the information will come to them in terms of psychic abilities and things of that nature, and they'll digest that information, and then they'll act. They're different than the fire signs and the water signs, where they'll get some sort of psychic information, and they'll like the water signs and fire signs, if they're not balanced emotionally, will immediately react to whatever psychic information they may get, right? Which is often why, certain water sign psychics you may go to, or fire sign psychics you go to. Not saying this is bad. I actually like this, but you may find that they may be more emotionally reactive than air or earth sign psychic or tarot reader that you go to, or astrologer. Because they feel like they emotionally react quickly. Whereas the earth sign takes in the information and then they react. All right, so their reaction can be delayed, but it's actually part of their psychic gift, believe it or not. So, how do all of these signs rank in terms of psychic abilities? Hi, Rose Petals. How are you? I think that's Rose Petals. Thank you for being here. Welcome to my live stream podcast. Make sure, if you're new to my Twitch, you follow and subscribe. Rose Petals is a frequent viewer, right? A follower, I think. So where do the zodiac signs rank in terms of psychic abilities? So, like I was saying, we're going to immediately start with the water signs, because the water signs, in terms of being the most inherently psychic, they take the cake. But which is the number one most psychic water sign? I'm going to give you a moment to kind of think and blurt it out and see what you have to say. Type it in the comment section below. Type it in the chat. Doing good, and you? I'm doing good, Rose Puddles. Thank you. I figured I'd come on and do a podcast live stream. Rose Puddles, what is the zodiac sign that you think is the most psychic out of the water signs? I would give you a hint, but I don't want to ruin it. Someone says Cancer, hopefully. Hot Audie says Cancer, hopefully. Is it Cancer? Cancer rising. Ooh, we have Cancers in the room. Is it Cancer? Cancer's up there, but is it Cancer? It could be Cancer. Alright? In my opinion, the number one most psychic sign and water sign is, it's a tie between Scorpio and Pisces. But I'm going to have to say Pisces. Because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which is the 12th house. The 12th house is actually spirit, spirituality, the connection to spirit. Alright? Pisces is also a very, at times, emotional sign. They feel very deeply. They feel energy very deeply, especially. But one thing you find interesting about Pisces is that Pisces is actually co-ruled by Jupiter, which Jupiter rules the ninth house, and the ninth house in Jupiter rules, higher education, higher learning, in the literal sense, like like literally seeking, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, seeking, education beyond what we're taught, in our younger years and young adult years. But also, Jupiter's about seeking education and messages from the divine. So when we take that into account, I would have to say Pisces is the number one psychic zodiac sign out of them all. Now, when it comes to their actual abilities and using them for the good, I will say, or just using them and using them like a muscle, I'll have to give that to Scorpio, which is number 2 in my opinion. The number 2 most psychic zodiac sign. Pisces is super psychic, but the one thing Pisces has against them is that, Pisces will get the information, Pisces will get the divine message, they'll take it in, but Pisces can be notorious for not taking their own advice. So they'll get the message, they'll even share it with other people and tell everybody the message, but they won't take it themselves, and then they remain stuck or they regress, So that's why I was kind of back and forth between Scorpio or Pisces, number 1 and number 2. But I will say that a well-developed Pisces, a highly evolved Pisces, super duper psychic, which is interesting because the polar opposite of Pisces is actually Virgo, which Virgo is an earth sign, but Virgo's pretty high on the list, you'll find soon too as well, actually. All right, so often you'll find that opposites have a lot in common. All right, there's a reason why opposites attract, because they tend to have a lot in common, actually, even though they're opposite. So Pisces, in my opinion, is number 1. So if you're a Pisces sun, moon, rising, you may, see this in yourself. Scorpio, in my opinion, is number 2. Scorpio is traditionally ruled by Pluto, which is the 8th house. All right? And Pluto rules your spiritual growth. Pluto rules your spiritual evolution. Pluto rules death. All right, rebirth. Pluto is also the ancestors. All right? So also, Scorpio is co-ruled by Mars, but is Mars really intuitive or a psychic planet, as much as Pluto? Pluto takes the cake with that. But the reason why Scorpio is number 2 is because Pluto also rules the subconscious, which, the subconscious can also rule hidden intentions and stuff like that. So Scorpios are really good at reading energy, reading people's intentions. You don't have to say anything to a Scorpio for them to get what you're putting down. All they have to do is read your body language. All they have to do is read your energy. All they have to do is read the tone in your voice, and they can tell something is off. That's a gift. Oh, also, let's go back to Pisces, because Pisces, another one reason why I put Pisces as number 1 is because Pisces, the 12th house, Neptune, rules dreams. So often you'll find, I'm one of these people, but I have 7th house in Pisces and Pisces somewhere else, I think, 8th house in Pisces, which makes me really psychic. I digress. Pisces rules dreams, so often you will hear people predicting things in their dreams, or dreams can be very prominent in terms of psychic abilities as well. All right, so that's quite interesting. But let's go, back to number 2, which is Scorpio. Scorpio is really good at reading energy, reading intentions. Scorpio is also very sexual as well too. So the sexual energy, reading sexual energy is a skill as well. That not many signs have. All right. So, and you'll find as well as the Scorpio evolves and grows that they have an inherent intuition that is so strong, especially Scorpio sun, moon, or rising. That if they just have a feeling about something, once again, difference between feeling and intuition, right? A feeling is fleeting. Intuition lasts longer. It's that kind of feeling you can't shake. It's that thought you can't shake. If a Scorpio has those types of feelings or thoughts, they're going to go with that thought or feeling, and it's kind of like, it's like a Scorpio, say a Scorpio gets invited to a party, but they have a bad feeling about that party. A Scorpio will go with that bad feeling and, like, say, no, I have a bad feeling, I'm not going to go. All right? Now, Pisces, which is number one, will still have that bad feeling and might still go. All right? But, both still psychic, right? Number three is Cancer. All right? Now, I know we have some Cancers in the Twitch room. All right? So I hope you didn't get too offended that I put Scorpio and Pisces as number one and number two, but Cancer is super duper psychic. All right. Now, when it comes to Cancer, Cancer is ruled by the moon, the fourth house in astrology, which is family, home, your mother. It's also your emotions, your emotional reactions, your emotional instincts, what you need to feel emotionally secure. The reason why I put Cancer as number three in terms of the water sign is that if a Cancer is emotionally imbalanced, the fact that they are psychic or intuitive, which a Cancer inherently is psychic or intuitive, can like, or that side of them can be negated. Like, it's like, like, say like someone is like super fearful, but they have good intuition, but they're so afraid that the fight or flight side of them takes over instead of the intuition. Like, they can't calm themselves down enough to actually like listen and trust what's coming through, and say, okay, let me listen, let me calm down. Like, I would say Pisces and Scorpio are better at doing that than Cancer, but Cancer is nonetheless still like super duper psychic. It's the moon, it's your emotions. What did I say earlier? Your emotions coupled with spirit. All right. Now, the thing with fear is interesting because fear can sometimes be an issue for Cancer, because Cancers don't like what's not comfortable. Cancers like comfort. Now, they got the emotion part down. All right, a Cancer can read emotions like that. You think a Cancer doesn't know what's wrong with you, but a Cancer knows immediately. Like, you can say, oh, there's nothing wrong with me, but a Cancer knows, nope. I can tell by the way your clothes on. Your shirt's backwards. You got on the wrong shoes. Something's wrong. That's a Cancer. Like, they know when something is off emotionally with someone. But like the spiritual side, and it's interesting because Capricorn can be the same way. That spiritual side can be a little bit difficult. Actually trusting the messages, listening to the messages, not being afraid of the messages that come through. That's the part that Cancers can sometimes struggle with. Not all Cancers, but when you have a Cancer that is really comfortable with that side of themselves as well as the emotional side, and knows how to balance the two, man, Cancer might be number one, to be honest with you, like at that point. But inherently, that's kind of something that a Cancer may struggle with, Sun, Moon, and Rising, all right? Especially depending on the environment that they're in. See, your environment will challenge your intuition, will challenge your psychic abilities, but Scorpio and Pisces will be more willing to, or will be more apt to rise above their environment and tap in than a Cancer. Cancer has to kind of struggle a little bit with that, if you get what I'm saying. So who is the number 4 most psychic zodiac sign? I'll give you a moment to think a guess, and I'm going to take a sip of coffee. All right. I wish we could do interludes, but this is a live stream podcast episode, so like I wish I could play music in between, but what is the fourth most intuitive zodiac sign? This is a toughie, you guys, because I have 2 specific ones in mind. Actually, 3. So no, I know the one. Wait. Libra, Aquarius. Those are actually really good ones. Wow. Those are good, but the number fourth most psychic zodiac sign, in my opinion, is actually, believe it or not, Sagittarius. And here's why. Now, Sagittarius, we were talking about, Jupiter. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Sagittarius is ruled by the ninth house, Jupiter, which Jupiter, once again, rules higher education, higher learning, messages from the divine, getting those downloads from, the universe and your spirit guides. But Sagittarius also rules good luck. Jupiter rules good luck. Jupiter also rules long distance travel and, open-mindedness, which is a big factor as well. Open-mindedness. You need to be open-minded in order to be psychic, right? Like, being in this world, like, from the outside looking in, like, come on. You have to be open-minded. If you're not open-minded, we look crazy. You look crazy being in this world, right? But that's the one thing Sagittarius has going for them, is that sometimes the Sagittarius reminds me of the Fool in tarot, where they don't mind looking foolish. Like, they don't mind looking crazy. Like, they don't mind saying something and it be off the cuff, and it's like, wait, what? But it came from, from the divine. Like, that's Sagittarius. But the big key factors for Sagittarius are luck and open-mindedness when it comes to psychic abilities. Because in order for you to be lucky, luck is basically, I always say luck is preparedness meeting opportunity, all right? But in order for you to be, like, lucky, you kind of have to, like, take risks sometimes, And in order to take a risk, like, in order to take a risk and be lucky and, like, actually, like, hit the mark, you have to be a little bit psychic, right? Like, you kind of have to know to be able to aim and, say, okay, I'm going to hit that mark. It's like the Sagittarius, the half man, half horse with the arch, like, that's Sagittarius, So you have to be a little bit psychic, a little bit be able to gauge, or predict, what's going to happen in order to be successful when you have that energy. So in my opinion, Sagittarius is the fourth most psychic zodiac sign. Let's see what the people have to say. Go crazy, go stupid. Hola, sabes español? Un poquito. I wish I knew how to say more, but I don't. Un poquito español. Wait. I don't know how to say it. I don't think it's soy. So habla un poquito español. I don't know. But anyway, you get what I mean. So anyway, who is the fifth most psychic zodiac sign, in your opinion? Who's the fifth most psychic zodiac sign? I have two in mind, once again. No one said them, though. I find that interesting. Like, no one said the next two that I have in mind. So, that's interesting. The next zodiac sign that is the most psychic, in my opinion, is Leo. Is the fifth most psychic zodiac sign. Leo is a fire sign ruled by the sun, the only zodiac sign ruled by the sun, which was the fifth house. The fifth house in astrology is your self-expression, it's your creativity, it's children and childhood. Who is more psychic than a child? Come on. Children are the most open-minded, like, go with the flow, children will have imaginary friends, like, that is Leo energy. And maybe if you're a Leo or have strong, prominent Leo in your chart, and you're born with that energy of being open-minded and creative and, talking to different spirits or whatever, and you grow up, do you ever really lose that? I'm just saying. And also, Leo rules, the fifth house, the sun rules your connection to your life purpose and your higher self. It also rules your vitality for life as well. Very interesting. But the key points are the connection to your life purpose and your higher self. When you are inherently born into this lifetime connected to your higher self as a Leo, sun, moon, or rising, or someone with prominent Leo in your chart, Your higher self is automatically guiding you along the way. And in order for you to be in tune with your higher self, you have to have some sort of connection to the other side, the spiritual realm, right? Remember, Leo and Sagittarius, they're both fire. I told you the fire signs are actually more intuitive than you think, you all. Now, here's where intuition works really, really well for the fire signs. Let me see what the people are saying. Hold on. That's what I thought, too. I'm a Leo. Yes, I'm loving this list, Lamarr. Oh, thank you. Yes. Now, this is where the intuition, and the psychic abilities comes into benefit for the fire signs. Now, the thing with your psychic abilities and intuition is that you need to trust it enough and trust spirit enough and trust what's coming through enough that you act on it. Now, that's where the earth signs and the air signs struggle a bit, which is why they're lower on the list. All right, because it's one thing to be psychic and intuitive, but if you don't act on it, then what's the point, right? But the fire signs are really, really good with that, especially Leo and Sagittarius, Aries too. But Aries is a little bit lower on the list, for other reasons. But that's one thing the fire signs have going for them is that they will actually act on their intuition or their psychic abilities if they're really highly evolved in that, right? So, which is the number 6 most intuitive zodiac sign? And I'll give you a hint. It ain't a fire sign, actually. Oh, it froze? Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. Let me know if it's still freezing. But what is the number? What number are we on, you guys? What number are we on? 6? We're on number 6. What's the number 6 most psychic zodiac sign? I'll give you a hint. It's not fire. Gemini. Close. Very, very close. Close, but no cigar. Gemini, to everyone saying Gemini. Virgo, actually. That's why I said close. It's still Mercury. Alright. But Virgo. Virgo. Gemini's not too far down the list, to be honest with you, but Virgo. Alright. Virgo. Virgo is Mercury. Now, Gemini is also ruled by Mercury, but this is why Virgo is higher on the list than Gemini. Virgo is an earth sign traditionally ruled by the 6th house, which is your daily routine. It's your sense of self-improvement. The 6th house is also how you go about, your daily routine and things of that nature, how you go about organizing your life and, staying organized and things of that nature. Like, that's Virgo, that's the 6th house. But one thing about Virgo is that Virgo is an analyzer. Virgo analyzes every little detail, even energy, even the psychic messages they get out of the blue. Now, Virgo may take in the information and be like, why does this thing keep coming to me? I can't shake this feeling. I can't shake this thought, and they may put it off because that's what earth signs do. But a Virgo will start putting the pieces together. It starts, well, I keep seeing, or hearing this thing, and now I'm noticing these signs or these patterns, and I think it's all interconnected, and what is the bigger message here? And, then they'll start putting the pieces of the puzzle together. That's a Virgo. Very psychic and intuitive, actually. An earth sign, but an underestimated psychic earth sign. All right? Especially someone that has a psychic placement like a moon in Virgo or maybe even a Neptune in Virgo, something, or a Mercury in Virgo, because they break down every little detail, or having psychic placements in your chart coupled with a Virgo placement enhances your abilities. Virgo is like the psychic that, or the intuitive that just starts noticing things. They notice signs, they notice patterns very easily. Um, the thing with Virgos that makes them lower on the list, though, is that they don't always trust the messages that come through. But when you have a Virgo that trusts the messages that come through and trusts the information that they receive, you have a very psychic Virgo. And mind you, Virgos are Earth. So they'll take in the information, they'll take in the signs, they'll put the puzzle pieces together, they'll get the picture, or what they think the picture is, and then they'll wait. Virgos are very patient. Earth signs are very patient. This is where the Earth signs have going for them, is that they're patient. They'll wait and they'll see if the pieces of the puzzle they put together fit what's going on, and once it's confirmed, then they'll act. That's a Virgo. All right. Number 6, all right, most psychic zodiac sign. So who's number 7, do you guys think? The number 7 most psychic zodiac sign. I got Mercury in Virgo, so true. Yes, Libra. Interesting, Libra. Is Libra number 7? Is Libra number 7? Close. You're in the right element. You're in the right element. I'll give you all a few more seconds to guess. I got a coffee from Target, and I thought I was going to finish it, but it's getting late, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to finish it. Or I might just finish it and be up all night, I don't know. Anyway. Okay, I've given you enough time. The number 7 most psychic zodiac sign is actually Gemini. Gemini, Virgo's Mercury sister/brother. Gemini is traditionally ruled by the 3rd house, which is your communication, intellect, and the mind, which is, often how messages will come to you, is your mind. Communication is a big factor, or being able to communicate with the other side, which is often why you'll find Gemini children being the types of children who will literally communicate with the other side, like literally will be talking to thin air, will be talking to a doll, but little do you know, or do they know, that maybe there's actually a spirit in that doll. All right. Anyway, I digress. Gemini also, the 3rd house also rules your young childhood to young adult years. Now, what did I say earlier? Children are naturally psychic. Children are naturally open-minded. So when it comes to Geminis, any paranormal, any psychic activities that they may experience from their young childhood to young adult years, which is about, I would say, 21, 18 to 21 is usually when you're out of that 3rd house phase and you go into your 9th house phase, which is when you start kind of forming your own personal philosophies and your own beliefs and things of that nature, right? All of that is going to, matter. All of that is going to be taken into account. So, for example, if a Gemini has a lot of paranormal experiences in their young age, but they grow up, as to not be super spiritual or super, involved in, the psychic world or intuitive world, but remember, it's like the feeling you can't shake. Like a Gemini will always remember, when I was a kid, like I used to talk to spirits, and it always comes back around in some way, shape, or form, right? That's one thing you'll notice with Geminis, right? Now, the reason why they're lower on the list is because Geminis can be the types of people sometimes, especially when you have a Gemini moon, or something like that. Geminis are the types of people who sometimes have difficulty discerning between, is it emotion or is it intuition? Kind of similar to Cancer. But a Gemini will not take the time to discern and figure out, is it emotion or intuition. They'll just act, Now they're adaptable, so they're good at adapting to whatever comes their way, either way. But it all comes down to, yes, you're intuitive, yes, you're psychic, but if you're not using that muscle or skill to your advantage, or if you're not using that muscle or skill um, in a way that will legitimize it for you or strengthen it for you, which, to like Geminis, it can be a hobby. Geminis can be the types of people who Geminis are the types of people who, sorry, someone just messaged me for a reading. Geminis are the types of people who like the psychic world, the intuitive world can be like a hobby to them. Like they sometimes are like they're in and out. They're in and out. Like they're hard to focus, which can be to their detriment. And it's interesting because I know I have a lot of Geminis in my life who are like this. They're in and out. But in order, to be spiritually and psychically sound, you have to be stable. You have to be grounded. And a lot of times you will find a lot of ungrounded Geminis. I love my Geminis, but child, all right? Love y'all, though. All right? Now, who is the number? What number are we on, you guys? I think we're number 8, right? Who's the number 8 zodiac sign, the most psychic zodiac sign? I think we're now on number 8, right? Because we did Pisces first, Scorpio second, Cancer third, and then we did, who was the fourth one again? Let's do a quick recap. Who was number 4, the most psychic one? Um, Sagittarius, and then Leo was 5. Sixth, I think, was Virgo. Seventh was Gemini. We're number 8. So who's the number 8th most psychic zodiac sign, in your opinion? Aquarius. Yes, that's a good one. Is it Aquarius? Do 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 do. That's interesting. Is it Aquarius? I'm torn between two. I'm torn between two for number 8. I'm torn between two signs. So I might have to think about this myself. Mm, this is a tough one, you guys. Ugh, man, this is tough. Half of my family are Aquarius. Aquariuses are very psychic, but I'm torn between Aquarius and one other sign, to be honest. So I want to give it to Aquarius, but I really want to be sure that I make a decision that I'm happy with when it comes to this. So I'm like, man, I'm really like stalling on this one. Let me see. Hmm. Hmm. I'm gonna have to say I kind of want to put Aquarius as number 8, but I'm torn between Aquarius and Capricorn as number 8. I think the reason why I want to put Aquarius above Capricorn is that Capricorns can sometimes be pessimistic, Capricorn. Capricorn can sometimes be pessimistic, and sometimes Capricorns can get in their own way when it comes to their psychic abilities. And I'm a Capricorn, so. But Aquarius can be the same way because Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn. They're both ruled by Saturn. But Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which may give Aquarius the edge over Capricorn. But you know what? Uranus rules technology. Technology inherently is not psychic or intuitive, even though we like to tout it as such. So, by a technicality, people, I'm going to have to put Capricorn as number 8 as the most psychic zodiac sign, one of the most psychic zodiac signs above Aquarius. Here's why. Now, Capricorn and Aquarius are both ruled by Saturn, all right? But Aquarius is mainly ruled by Uranus, all right? Capricorn is mainly ruled by Saturn. One thing about Saturn is a tough planet. Saturn rules the 10th house, which is, your status in society, it's your career, your professional destiny. It's also your fatherhood. Saturn is also the past, karma, debt, weight, illness, things of this nature. Which, when you look at the surface of it, none of that seems intuitive at all, right? Here's the thing with Capricorn, though. Capricorn is actually the sea goat. So Capricorn has this thing going with them where they're earth mainly, but they can actually, get in the water with the best of them, too. Capricorns are part earth, actually, and part water, all right, technically, which inherently makes Capricorn intuitive, but a lot of times the logical part of a Capricorn or the earthy part of Capricorn will override the emotional part of a Capricorn, which messes up, the connection to spirit as well. All right? So a Capricorn really has to be balanced in their emotions, and they have to really be balanced in their spiritual essence. Remember, Capricorn is the devil in tarot. All right? Capricorn can easily fall into a very negative pattern of self-doubt, sabotage, and things of that nature, which is an enemy of the psychic world, So, inherently, a Capricorn is very psychic, all right? Now, once again, the thing with Saturn is that a Capricorn, I will say, at birth is not necessarily super psychic. A Capricorn, as they age and grow, and it's interesting, with the thing with Capricorn is that they say they age backwards, right? I think as a Capricorn ages, they become more psychic. They become more intuitively aware. They become more aware of the other side. The Capricorn may be aware of it at a young age, because, they're just aware of things at a young age, period. But it becomes more affirmed for a Capricorn through experience, through trial and error as they age, all right? Which is interesting because being in the spiritual world, I think, will make you look younger, right? I think it makes you worry less. And the interesting thing with Capricorn is that early in their age, they worry early on in their, life, they worry a lot, typically about things that they can't change or things that are out of their control. Whereas if they just kind of tapped into spirit, early on, they find, life would be a lot more easy. So, but a Capricorn inherently being solely ruled by Saturn is going to be forced to learn to trust their psychic abilities, to trust their psychic gifts. And remember, Capricorn is the polar opposite of Cancer, so opposites have a lot in common, The reason why I put Aquarius as number 9 below Capricorn, because Aquarius is technology. So Aquarius inherently is always looking at new ways to make life easier. Aquarius is always looking at new ways to innovate and that can sometimes take away from the psychic or the spiritual essence, right? When you get too caught up in the technological world, when you get too caught up in, remember, Uranus is also friends, acquaintances, and social groups. So when you get too caught up in, what your friends are saying or the people around you are saying, the spiritual messages, the psychic messages get, can get misconstrued, you know. Whereas when you have that Saturn Capricorn influence, you just have that straight, and that's why, Capricorn, I love Capricorns, because Capricorns will isolate themselves, which isn't always good, but in doing that, it gives you the ability to listen and hear what's going on inside, what spirit, and what the psychic world actually has to say. Whereas when it comes to Aquarius, the message can get misconstrued through technology, through, the people they have around them. So Aquarius have to be careful with that, but Aquarius by nature are very psychic, very intuitive, and they have the ability to see things ahead before they happen. All right? Often you'll find Aquarius are ahead of the curve on a lot of things. Like Aquarius will set trends, or they'll be ahead of trends kind of thing, which is a gift all in itself. But once again, it's like applying it in a metaphysical way, as well. Not getting caught up in, the misconstruedness of society, which is Capricorn struggles with too, with that Saturn energy. All right. But number 10, we're getting down to the wire, you guys. We have two more, all right? But number 10, or three, wait, three more. Okay, so who's the number 10 most psychic zodiac sign in your opinion? We only got a couple to choose from. We got Libra, we got Aries, and we got Taurus. What's the most psychic one? You might be surprised by my answer. Don't get mad at me. I'll give you a few more minutes or a few more seconds. I'm torn between two. I have to be honest. But I think I know which one I'm going to choose. Once again, by a technicality. Do you find it interesting as we get lower on the list, it starts becoming technicalities? Isn't that interesting? Taurus. Everyone's saying Taurus. It's a tie between Taurus and another sign. But I don't know. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. Everyone's saying Taurus. It could be Taurus. You know what? You guys might be onto something, actually. I think we might be agreeing on this. I think we might be agreeing on this. I think, yeah. I think you guys are right. I think the number 10 most psychic zodiac sign is Taurus. I was tied between Taurus and Libra, but here's why I'm choosing Taurus. The reason why I'm choosing Taurus is because Libra is traditionally, first of all, they're both ruled by Venus, right? Venus is all about relationships and harmony and money and how you make your money, how you spend your money, and very materialistic types of things, right? Even though relationships aren't necessarily materialistic, but earthly things, we'll say, right? Not necessarily spiritual, not necessarily, psychic, right? But it's interesting, because Taurus rules the second house in astrology, which rules Venus, but the second house rules money, how you make your money, how you spend your money. Tauruses are very much about their money. They're an earth sign. They're very much about stability. And that's what they go after. That's what they maintain. And a Taurus doesn't necessarily need anyone else to do that or to maintain that. They can do that themselves. A Libra, on the other hand, Libra rules the seventh house, which is one-on-one relationships, business partnerships. It's your marriage. So Libras are your first marriage. So Libra is all about relationships and harmony and connecting with others. Taurus doesn't necessarily need that in order to maneuver through life. I'm a Libra moon. Relationships are important to Libra. To the point where if a Libra is too isolated, like they, kind of start to, or, Libras will even have this thing where, like, Libras will follow other people against their own intuition. But a Taurus will always trust their intuition, similar to Scorpio. Remember, Scorpio and Taurus are polar opposites, but opposites have a lot in common. A Taurus is similar to Scorpio in the way that if they have a feeling or a thought that they can't shake, they're going to go with that thought or feeling. Taurus is like Scorpio. If they've been invited to a party, but they have a bad feeling about that party, a Taurus is going to go with that feeling. No, I have a bad feeling, I'm not going to go. I'm good. I'm good with my money, what I got going over here. Tauruses are very psychic and intuitive in that way. They're always going to go with what they feel the most. Or, remember Taurus is Venus, all right? So, or they'll go with the majority, but the majority of whose opinion they actually trust. So it's like if they're very close to their family, but even then, a Taurus will sometimes go against what if a Taurus feels one way, and the people that they trust and whose opinions that they value, are another. A Taurus will go with what they trust and believe, which can sometimes be a good thing or a bad thing, which is why Taurus is low on the list. To be honest with you, sometimes it's not necessary. It's emotion. Sometimes you can have a loyalty to someone or a loyalty to something. But sometimes if everyone is telling you, or a lot of people, especially people that choose opinion you value, are telling you, that maybe the loyalty that you're putting into something isn't good for you, but you keep thinking it is, but actually it's not. That's going against the psychic realm. So sometimes it's like Tauruses do struggle between being the teacher and being the student, which is interesting because that's the Hierophant, right? Which is the rule Taurus's card in tarot. But so low on the list, but still psychic. All right. Stubborn though. Stubbornness gets in the way of them and their psychic abilities and intuitiveness. So Taurus is, you got to get out of your own way when it comes to these gifts that you all have. All right. Thank you, Hot. Thank you. No hable español. Lo siento. So who's the 11th most psychic zodiac sign? I feel like you guys already know. We're getting it's number 11. Like is it even a surprise at this point? It's between Aries and Libra. So who do you think is number 11, the most psychic zodiac sign? I can't believe this was an hour, but I kind of knew it would be an hour. I knew this was going to be a long podcast episode. Hopefully you guys like the long episodes, though, on the podcast. Or just in general on Twitch and YouTube. Hopefully you guys like. If you like the longer episodes, like the video, subscribe. Let me know you like them. But number 11 most psychic zodiac sign, in my opinion, is Libra. All right. Libra is the most psychic zodiac sign, the number 11 most psychic zodiac sign. Libra is, once again, Venus. It's one-on-one relationships. It's business partnership. Libra is an air sign, though. Libra is very cerebral. Libra is smarter than you think, typically. Libra is a very psychically, intuitively understated zodiac sign. Often people think Libra is out of the loop, or people think Libra doesn't know what's going on. Sometimes they don't, okay? But sometimes they do, but they're playing dumb, or they're acting dumb, or they're acting like they don't know what's going on, or they're trying to play along to get along, all right? So Libras kind of have this thing where sometimes they the message gets misconstrued sometimes, and or sometimes they'll use the message that comes through to their benefit, even though that's not the reason that the message was intended for. If that makes sense, which is something that Aries also has in common too, which is Libra and Aries are both polar opposites, so opposites have a lot in common. But Libra is the one thing Libra has going against them is that Libra can be a people pleaser. Libra can struggle with being a follower versus a leader, all right? Trusting their own intuition. So sometimes if a Libra feels one way but the majority feels the other way, especially if the majority is people they trust or love or want to please or don't want to disappoint, then a Libra may be more apt to go with the majority versus their own feelings or their own opinions, in order to not be the outsider or, something like that. But often that can work against Libra, you know. So a Libra has to balance is key, right? But a Libra has to learn to also live fully, live groundedly in the spiritual realm, in the emotional realm, so that you can hear the messages and trust the messages and know that the messages are leading you in a direction in which you're going to want to go, in a direction in which it's going to be better than where you think you want to go. All right? Libras kind of have this social status thing going with them where it's like, it's the emotion thing. It's like sometimes they hear what they want to hear, you know? So you got to be careful with that, Libra, all right? And above all, trust your own intuition. Trust your own feelings, all right? Lastly, my hubby's a Libra. Oh. Lastly is Aries, the last, the number 12, and maybe least psychic, although they're all zodiac signs are psychic, zodiac sign is Aries. Now, is an Aries psychic by nature? Of course, Aries is psychic by nature. But Aries, you have to learn to not let your ambition or that fiery nature or that desire for power, that desire, for worldly things to override the spiritual essence, to override, the messages that need to come through. Sometimes Aries is one of those signs where you can let your emotions override your intuition. All right? So it's like one of those things where a good example will be say Aries has a feeling that like their friends are, or one of their friends, good friends, is maybe pulling away from them or doesn't want to be their friend anymore, because they've been noticing certain things. Maybe they're not answering their text messages, as quickly, or not wanting to hang out as much. But instead of sitting back and trying to confirm, that feeling that they're getting, an Aries will just immediately act on that emotional instinct. Why haven't you been answering my phone calls? Why, it's like you have to, be a little bit more methodical when it comes to the spiritual realm and the psychic realm. You can't just jump into a feeling or jump into an assumption or jump into even an intuitive message you get. Sometimes you just need to take the message and sit back and think and watch before you make your move. All right? So it's not that Aries aren't psychic, because you are very psychic. Aries is the first house, Mars. Mars is how you go about getting what you want. Mars is also how you express your raw energy. Mars is also the first impressions that you make, your self-image, your general outlook on life. All right? So the one thing with Aries is that you have to have the balance between action and reaction, right? All right, because you are psychic, but when it comes to you getting the messages, remember, you don't need to immediately react and you don't need to immediately act, all right? Sometimes you just need to take the message in and analyze, all right? Sometimes you just need to kind of Let spirit take over. All right. Be comfortable with not being in control. You know, because often when you're in the spiritual realm, you're not in control of what messages come through or don't come through, or how situations unfold. But as an Aries, you naturally have that desire to do so, to control situations. It's just like that Mars energy. You know, you want to control how people see you. You want to control, the outcome of situations. You want to, Aries is like the person where, once again, it's like similar to Libra. Like, Aries, if they have one feeling, but the majority is the opposite, and Aries will go with their feeling, even though the majority may be right. And, an Aries will go against the majority, just to prove a point. When that's not what Spirit's about. Spirit is about trust. And trust, you have to be vulnerable to trust. You have to be in your emotions to trust. You have to surrender to trust, which can be a difficult thing sometimes for Aries. All right. Woo, you guys. This was a lot. This was 12, the 12 zodiac signs ranked as the most to least psychic. Let me know what you thought about this podcast episode in the comment section below. Thank you so much, Twitch people, for being here. Thank you so much, my Twitch people. This was so fun. I do that. You're welcome. Yes, I do that sometimes. Aries can be impulsive. Yes. Shay, hey, can I ask you a question? What is your question, Shay? Thank you so much, you guys. This has been so fun. I think someone said they have a question. Um, I'll stay on for a little bit longer, but I gotta go because I've been on for an hour and I'm hungry, and I think I have a client reading to do soon. I think someone wants a reading. All right, thank you, Lamarr. Great talk. Yes, thank you, Lamarr. You're welcome. Okay, X Shay says, how does Marquise feel about Shay? Aquarius. Oh, I thought you were going to ask a question about the topic at hand. Yeah, if you want a personal reading, that sounds like a personal reading. So if you want a personal reading, definitely check out my website at lamarrtownsendtarot.com. I am available for readings. I would love to read for you. All right. So definitely reach out for a reading. All right, you guys. Thank you for listening and watching. I'm gonna go. This has been so fun. I will see you in the next podcast episode. Remember, check out my podcast on Spotify, Anchor, and soon Apple Music and other platforms as well. I think it's on Google as well. Radio Talk, I think. But once again, the link to my podcast will be in the profile section on Twitch, as well as the comment section and the description below on YouTube. All right, you guys, love and light, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much.